if you're wondering why I'm angry in this place, it's because something happened. I almost missed my flight. But before I tell you how that happened, let's backtrack a bit to how I even decided to go on a Lagos trip. So 2023 came and decided I wanted to jackpot because I was tired of Nigeria. So I packed my bags, got my tickets, and I moved. But before that, I did a final hangout with my friends, went and had a buffet at Ijebu. Okay, it was great, and at some point we even went and shopped.
I don't think glasses like that look good on me.
You don't?
So then I moved to Edmonton, and not before long, I got a job, and Edmonton started to feel somewhat like home. So I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna start exploring my city. Now this day I had gone to visit the pyramids, and I was complaining about how cold was about to finish me. My nose was so cold because unfortunately I moved in winter. Now winter wasn't that bad. I got into a bit of sports, tried out some snow tubing, made a couple of friends, and then I went to Calgary. Now, Edmonton was great, but Calgary was even better because in Calgary, I had a bunch of friends from Lagos who had also jackpot. So it was fun. We went to the zoo, we went to the mountains in Banff. It was great. And so Calgary felt somewhat like home, right? But soon enough, I started to really miss Lagos because really, there's no place like home. And so the Lagos trip was born.
Hi to the camera, we're in Lagos!
And Lagos quickly became exciting. I got to see my sister who I hadn't seen in 7 years. Now this babe, all the time, they're always asking us if we are twins, and it was just nice seeing her in person. I got to have some amala. My mom was having a party, so I got to enjoy some Lagos party as Yoruba baby girl that I am. But I also had an ulterior motive. I needed to record a bunch of videos for my podcast, which I run with my best friend. It's called Oversharing and Banter, and immediately I moved, we started to struggle with filming digitally. So since I was in Lagos, it was a good opportunity to film in person.
But it's actually neighborhood. Welcome to Oversharing and Banter.
And as you see, people turned up. I got to see my friends, got to see a bunch of creators. It was fun. Now for me, a big thing about coming to Lagos was that I was going to eat around Lagos. So I had a bunch of food. I ate snail, I ate amala, I ate jollof rice. Because why won't I eat jollof rice? Then I topped it up with some yam fries, went cilantro, had this drink that almost murdered me. I enjoyed food. So, sorry. Now, when I'm in Lagos, anytime I'm in Lagos, my normal Lagos self, there are two places that I always love to go. One, art galleries. And two, the beach. Now, unfortunately, my favorite beaches, which are Landmark and the Good Beach, have been demolished. They do not exist again because they said they wanted to do a road extension. We all know how that went. So I went to a private beach instead, and it was fun. And before I knew it, my Lagos trip had come to a fast end though. It was all done. I had completed my 10 days. I had partied. I had eaten. I went and I hung out with my friends for the last time at Afefeyeye, which is one of my favorite places to be in Lagos. And then I packed up to leave. Now, the first part of my flight was terrible. For some reason, I had motion sickness, and I barely ever have motion sickness when I'm flying, right? I usually have that on road trips. So it was terrible. I couldn't sleep. I was nauseous. It was bad. And the second half of my trip is when I'm going to tell you how I almost missed my flight to Edmonton. So I was there at the airport. It was a 9-hour layover. Please, if you ever had the choice not to have a 9-hour layover, please take it. Don't do 9-hour layovers. They are too long. And I have no visa to go into Amsterdam. So I was stuck at the airport. But Amsterdam airport, which is called Schiphol, I don't know if it's pronounced Schiphol or Schiphol. I'm not sure. It's a very beautiful airport. So I was like, you know what, this time I am trying to explore the airport. I have about, what's the time now? Time now is about like 10 and I have to, so about like 4 hours to Gallivant. There's a museum I definitely want to check out, and then we'll just see. So let's explore Schiphol together. After a quick bathroom break, I decided that I needed something to eat, but my stomach was feeling queasy from that first flight. Even though I wanted to have some sushi, I was like, nope, I want something bland. I eventually had a blueberry muffin and some Coca-Cola, and it was time to go and check out the airport. Now, my sense of direction is very, very poor. For those that follow me on Instagram, you know how much I talk about this. So naturally, when I'm anywhere, the first thing I want to do is figure out where I am going to. So I tried to find my gate. My gate was F4, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to find it. I found my gate. I saw where I was going to board, and it was time to go and explore the museum. Now, this is the beginning of the mistake of how my flight almost got missed. I found the museum, and this museum always excites me because it's called Rooks, and I have a friend called Eruke who I call Rooks. Anyway, I went to the museum. It was a small, quaint place. I'm not going to bore you people with art, but the name of the exhibition showing was called Setting the Table, and it was about food of a certain time period. But moving on, if you can't really be bothered about things like this, let's get ahead to how I almost missed my flight. So I finished at the museum now, and I decided to go to the art shop to get some souvenirs because I was like, you know, sentimental gift makes sense. Why not? What I didn't remember was that time was going. So while I was busy checking out art made by local artists and art inspired by artists like Van Gogh, time was going and it was close to my time to leave. Now I was here obsessing over art pieces, checking out purses, checking out pins and books, and I was excited. You know, I was in my element. Another thing that I didn't realize at this time was that my gate had changed. So my gate was no longer F4. It had moved to E5, which was fine. Alright, I was here having a good time shopping for things. I was obsessing over these tiny pieces of Van Gogh pins, and I eventually got them. I wasn't sure if to get the one that had Basquiat or the one that had Van Gogh, but I eventually got the one that had Van Gogh. I got this book that is a book where I can illustrate. It's plain pages, also inspired by Van Gogh. At this point, I wasn't sure which one I wanted to get. I did not get this bunny because I told myself that I shall not be purchasing any plushies at this point. So I got my stuff and I was like, let me go back to my gate, which is supposed to be F4, right? So initially, when I had gone to check out F4, it was very rowdy, and rowdy places make me, sometimes I can't breathe. I don't know, I'm very claustrophobic. So I was like, I'm just going to sit at another waiting area, and then when it's close to my time to board, I would leave. So I sat down in this very chill waiting area, very close to the museum, got out my book. I was tired, but I was like, I'm just going to read and wait. Once it's about 1 hour to my flight, I will go and sit down at F4, right? It was time. I decided to pack up and leave, but then I needed to use the bathroom. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. The bathroom is not far. There are bathrooms all around the airport. I'm just going to do a quick bathroom break before it is time. Now, when I was in the bathroom, Shebi Orimilo Yomi, Schiphol Airport has a website that is schiphol.nl/ I think flights. I'm not sure. I will check and add it in the link below. And so I checked because you can check your boarding gates through that, because I know that sometimes they do be changing boarding gates, right? So I went to the bathroom and it was right there that I realized that my gate had moved from F4 to E5. I'm like, okay, no wahala. I'm just gonna do a quick 1 or 2 out here and find my way to E5. Now I have social anxiety. I hate when I don't know where I'm going to. I was already stressed now because it was already really close for my departure time. That's how I now got to E5, and they said on the board that they've moved to E6. I'm just like, wala walele. Then I got to E6 and my flight was not showing on the board at E6. You people. Wait, what? God, I don't have money for extra ticket. So if I miss this flight, low bottom. So I was there, 1 hour past, 30 minutes past. It was very close to my boarding gate, and I was already getting apprehensive. I'm like, should I walk all the way to the desk to ask questions? Should I go back to the first board? But I'm like, it makes no sense because whatever the board there is saying, the same thing that this board is saying. Anyway, after so much agitation, it finally showed my flight, and I was like, yeah, thankfully. And now I'm back in Edmonton, and life is back to usual. I'm with my nephews. I miss Lagos. The trip was okay. I miss home. I cried when I went to drop my sister at the airport when she was leaving. My heart couldn't take it. But I realized that maybe that's what home is. Maybe home doesn't have to be one place. It could be multiple places. Home could be people. And so what this trip has taught me to do is to go home more, as much as I can, because that's where my heart is, if I'm being honest. I don't want to be one of those people who only go home when their parents die, which has suddenly become a reality for me, a fear for me, because I'm growing old. I have friends whose parents have been passing, and I'm just like, at the back of my head, I'm just like, one day I'm going to get a call and they're going to tell me that my mom has died. It just reminds me I should probably have a savings buckets for that, which is sad, but it just helps me plan. Because what usually happens is people don't plan for these things, and then it comes as a shock, and then they miss the funeral. But yeah, it was lovely to have you here. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm just a young creator. I am the Lagos Stories, and I do travel content. Nobody's paying me for this. This is not a sponsored post. I'm not making money off this video, yes, but if you subscribe and you like and you watch the video to the end, YouTube might end up paying me. Thank you. Bye. See you in the next one where I'm going to take you through the Airbnb that I stayed with my parents. Bye, guys.